Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to talk about 7 mistakes often made by new dropshippers and things that you should really watch out for in order to be as successful as possible from the offset. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about today, guys, is taking shortcuts. What I basically mean by that is when you first start getting into dropshipping, obviously there's a lot of excitement there. You want to get straight in and you want to start making money straight away. But what I really recommend you do is actually go and educate yourself properly on this. Remember, it's going to be a future potential career for you if you wanted to go and be a doctor or something else. So you might have to go to college for 3 to 5 years or even more in order to be successful at that. So don't try and jump into this business and want to be successful in the very first week. Go and educate yourself properly because it will save you lots of hassle and lots of money further down the line. Now the second one I want to talk about is use of marketing platforms. Now a lot of courses and a lot of videos on YouTube will direct you directly towards Facebook ads, and while that may have worked very well a few years ago, things have changed and there is lots of different ways in which you can market without spending huge amounts of money on Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. For example, if you think about it, there's lots of different platforms you can use. Obviously, we can talk about Instagram influencers, but actually start thinking outside the box. Go and look at things like Pinterest, which is fantastic for things like homeware. Go and look at Snapchat, Reddit. You've got Twitter, you've got Quora, so many different ways in which you can do marketing. And the good thing about those other ones I've just mentioned is they're significantly cheaper to advertise on than things like Facebook, which can make the difference between you being profitable and you being unprofitable. And the third one I want to talk about is custom content. When you get into dropshipping, it's very tempting to not want to buy the products and make your own photos. But what people tend to do is they try and skimp and save as much as possible at the start. And I get it, sometimes money can be hard to come by when you're starting a new business. But investing in custom content, whether that be custom photos, custom videos of products, can really set you apart from the competition out there that are just using the original AliExpress or Alibaba photos. So if you've got the camera equipment, etc., to make your own videos and own content, then do that yourself. Obviously, if you don't, then find someone on Fiverr.com and you can go to that website. You can find someone who's going to be willing to create that content for you. All you then need to do is order that product, send it to them, and they will then create you the custom content that you need. And the next one is thinking outside the box, or not being prepared to think outside the box. Basically, when a lot of people get into dropshipping, they tend to be a bit afraid to kind of think about how they might be interested in buying things or how they could do things a little bit differently from everyone out there. Now, what makes dropshipping great is it's very easy to get into because it's actually quite easy to learn about. You can start a store really easily. Now, a problem with that is it then means that it's low barrier to entry, and that means therefore the competition is significantly higher. That doesn't mean that you can't be successful in the space, but you need to start thinking a little bit differently from what everyone else is doing, because everyone else is out there just looking for the low-hanging fruit. So you've got to think about how you can do things a little bit differently. If everyone else is just choosing that winning product, using those original photos and just marketing onto a fairly average and easy to set up website, then it's going to be very difficult for you to compete because everyone else is doing it. But think about how you can set yourself apart, whether that be using different marketing methods, whether that be using different products that perhaps have not really been tried yet because you think that particular product might be successful in a given time of year or whatever it is. Then think about how you can really mix it up and do something different that no one else is doing. Invest some time, invest some effort, and you will see the fruits of your labor. Next one is a private labeling, or a lack of private labeling. So basically, if we think about it, when you're ordering things on Alibaba or AliExpress, then you're going to come with the kind of original labeling, etc., which obviously coming from China is going to be in Chinese and not really very suitable for the Western audiences that you're trying to sell products to, because they can't perhaps read the boxing, they can't see anything about what it is, and it's just a generic product. They're not going to come back to your store and remember that they bought this item from that particular place. But by having a private label, you then are able to create a brand around it. If you think about things like High Smile, which make the kind of like the teeth whitening kits, you can buy those kits, etc., on AliExpress really easily, but ultimately people will pay more money to go to HiSmile because it's a trusted and reputable brand. So pay a little bit of money in investing in your own private brand. Now I'm going to tell you in a moment a place where you can go to find products and find private labeling really easily from top suppliers in China, and that will help you to step above the competition, because you will not only have private labeling, but the kind of the boxing, the packaging, everything that it comes with will be super professional and something that people are ready to part their money, and something that people are expecting when they're paying for products. You can also start to charge more money if you have a good reputation and a solid brand, because people will start to support you. It also makes upselling and future sales easier, and obviously therefore will make your store more profitable in the longer run. Now the next one is pretty boring, but setting up taxes. Obviously I'm not going to talk too much about this, guys, because we're all potentially living in different countries and the rules for each of your different countries is obviously different. But do not try to sort of cut corners and skimp when it comes to setting up payment options, setting up taxes, etc. Make sure you are doing everything honestly and correctly, because you will get burned later down the line if you're trying to do that. For example, I've heard of people getting like $20,000 to $40,000 locked in PayPal. I've heard of Stripe issues. I've heard of people with Stripe payment issues because they've perhaps been lying about the country that they're living in, and then people getting burned down the line because of taxes, copyright laws, etc. So make sure you have everything in order. You're reading all of the boring documentation which goes along with things like taxes and stuff like that, because you can find yourself in a lot of trouble, and it is very difficult to get into that later down the line, and you will take the pain if your business has been doing quite well up until that point, where you're going to start losing a lot of money through various sort of legal reasons. So make sure you have everything in order, whether that means setting up an official business, which can be done quite cheaply, I know, in the UK and the US and various other countries, not particularly difficult, and as well as that you're declaring all the relevant taxes, etc., because you want to be on top of this, believe me. And then the last one is getting comfortable. What do I mean by getting comfortable? Well, once you get a store and you perhaps start to see a bit of profit coming in, you're going to be happy about that, and you're going to continue to build up that store to a certain point. Now obviously that store has a potential like lifetime. What I mean by that is it may not continue forever to perform at that rate, because other people are going to see your ads running, they're going to be able to start competing with you. As soon as someone finds something good and a good profitable product in dropshipping, they're going to start to try and copy you and take away your business from you, and that's fine, because obviously if you build a good brand around it, then you can outlast that competition. But one thing you should always be looking at is reinvesting the money perhaps you've been making in finding new products. Either if you have the time to do it, you can go away and find out new products yourself, or you can start to build a little team around you, investing that money you've been making back into the business rather than just going out and spending on elaborate things, to build up your e-commerce brand and your e-commerce business. You can then start to sell successful sites that you've built once they're at their peaks, rather than waiting for them to kind of die out and lose money further down the line. You know, it's all about building these successful brands and successful businesses as fast as possible, and then when they get to their peak, selling them on, not being too attached to them, and then reinvesting more money into the next thing and the next one. And because that's what we want to be in this game for, guys. We want to basically build successful brands. We want people to be happy with the services that we provide, because obviously that means that in the future, not only can we feel good about ourselves, but we will also be able to build something that other people want to be purchasing from. Now, a lot of things I talked about in this video today about private labeling, about finding good suppliers, and much more can all be done through this fantastic website, which is fulfillman.com. I recommend coming across and checking this out, because it's a great way to get started, because you can find yourself proper, reliable, trustworthy suppliers in China, and you can get private labeling, private photography, and everything all into one, associated with the products, etc., that you're going to be getting involved in. And that is pretty much the key to success, guys. Separate yourself from the crowd and be able to deliver the very best service you can. And it might not happen with the first product, it might not happen with the fifth product that you try, but eventually you will find a product that's going to be successful, and your dropshipping journey can start to build momentum really fast. So go and check out Fulfillment, link down in the description below if you want to go and find out more Guys, if you have enjoyed that quick video today about the 7 things that I wish I had done when I first started dropshipping, then make sure you smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps me out more than you know. And if you're new to the channel, you want to learn more about dropshipping, print on demand and making money online, then make sure you smash that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye bye.